The attachment, submitted by Kaley, Cher, Minnesota. In 2019, I graduated high school and went to college 2 hours away from home. I was so excited and happy to be far, yet close enough to go back home if needed. Little did I know how bad things would turn out for me. It always started small, so I always brushed them off as my imagination and to stop overthinking. I've always been sensitive, occasionally seeing things and only being able to communicate through dreams. Some people probably won't believe this, but I know what I saw, heard, and experienced. Moving into this college was great. I had some friends from high school who also came to the same college, and I had made some friends online. I felt more excited than scared, which I thought would be a great thing. A couple of months in, I did not experience much of anything until one night. I was in my room alone, just laying in bed listening to music. I laid in the dark on my phone texting my boyfriend when I heard a noise in the room. My room had rough carpet, and it was like the standard short carpet that office buildings would have. Walking on it, you could hear every little noise. I sat up looking around, thinking my roommate might have came in, and I had not noticed, but when I looked around the dark room there was nothing. Shrugging it off, I laid back down. Then, the noise happened again. It sounded like someone's fingernail or toenails were purposely gliding along the carpet slowly. I sat up again, even more confused. I turned on my phone flashlight and quickly walked to the door. I opened the door to see if my friends came by. No one was there. I closed the door, but just stood by it, turning off my light to attempt to catch my friends. The noise happened again. The door opened so fast, but there was no one or nothing. I was so confused, I closed the door and began to walk to my bed, but only made it 2 steps away from the door when it happened again. This time coming from my roommate's closet. I turned around as fast as I could and flipped the light switch on, hoping it was just a mouse or something running around my room, but nothing. A little sketched out, I just ignored it entirely, not wanting to scare myself anymore. I put on my headphones and turned my music up loud. I decided that some homework would be best to distract me from it, so I started to do my research paper. Some time passed, and I started to get tired. As I began to put things away, I felt a cold hand on my shoulders, as if someone was trying to hold me down in my seat. What the hell, I thought, as I turned around thinking. Why are you touching me like that? Expecting to see my roommate, but no one was there. I felt my heart drop. I turned around and closed my laptop and quickly grabbed my stuff to wash up. As I was about to leave, my roommate walked into the door. Hey, did you just get out of class? I asked. Yep, today and Wednesday will be my late days. Starting today, I have one class at an off-site building. I nodded in response. Okay, well, I'm going to wash up, smiling as I walked away. Still feeling a little scared, I cautiously walked to the bathroom. The bathrooms always scared me. They looked pale yellow and resembled a hospital. On the left, there were 2 shower stalls, and on the right, there was a long mirror with 4 sinks and 2 bathroom stalls and a body mirror on the wall by the door. The lighting wasn't the best. It amplified the yellow walls even more. I called my boyfriend to video chat since I was scared from earlier. We chatted for a few seconds when he said, "Oh, someone just came in. I'll call you later." I immediately said, "Stop playing around." As I looked around me, no one came in. It was literally just me in here. The doors to the bathrooms are heavy. When they close, they always make a noise to which I did not hear. My boyfriend then stated that he saw someone wearing like a light blue dress. I told him to stop talking, and I quickly packed up my stuff and left. By the time I walked into my room, my roommate was dead asleep. I quietly put my stuff away and laid in bed. It was around 1:40 a.m., so I hung up with my boyfriend and attempted to sleep. That's when I heard the scratching noises again. My eyes shot open. I started to panic a bit, and I could feel my heart beating faster and faster. It started to scratch louder and louder and faster as it came towards me. I tried to sit up in bed. That's when I knew I was having sleep paralysis. I wanted to cry. I tried to wake myself up, but nothing worked. I tried to calm myself down when I looked down towards my roommate's closet. Sitting on the floor, her torso and upper body was leaned down almost as if she was sleeping on her stomach, her head touching the carpet facing the end of my bed. And her legs were bent up, making the letter M. But her body in between her legs. Her arms were so long, with her nails even longer. They were slowly gliding across the floor. I watched as her fingernails slightly vibrated from sliding across the carpet, making that scraping noise. I heard her gasp, "Help me, help me, help me." I watched in disbelief. She slowly started to sit up, then stand up while repeating, "Help me, help me, help me," with each "help me" getting more and more aggressive. By the time she was standing, she was hunched over the ceiling as she was too tall. Her long arms pointed straight at me, those long nails nearly reaching me. She looked almost like the character from the movie, Mama. "Help me," she screeched one last time before lunging at me. I gasped as her weight over me was unbearable. I felt like I was going to die from being crushed. I pleaded for it to stop. I pleaded and pleaded to no end. Closing my eyes out of fear, I could feel her hair touching my face. I could smell a wet, old, moldy smell, and at my last breath, I pleaded to my grandma to help me. Within seconds, I sat up in bed in a sweat. I was out of breath, still trying to collect myself. My heart was pounding so hard and loud, I felt like any faster it would stop. This dream was so vivid, I could still feel my face tingling from where her hair was touching my face. I eventually relaxed, and before going to bed, I texted my friend to see if she would want to get some lunch after our class. I woke up around 9:30 a.m. and got ready to go get breakfast at the cafeteria. My friend Gina was busy, so we planned for dinner. Fast forward to dinner with my friend. Gina's dad was a psychic medium, so she had many experiences growing up. We were cooking in her dorm's kitchen when she mentioned she had an odd dream last night. I quickly added, "Really? Me too." She looked up at me in disbelief. "Really, I did. I've never had a dream like this before," I said, while stirring the contents in the pan, trying to not look scared. We eventually started to tell each other our dreams, and they were almost identical. At this point, we were eating on the couches near the door. Gina said, "In my dream, I was laying on the top bunk, and I kept hearing this scratching noise coming from my door, but I didn't see anyone's shadow or shoes from under the door. I thought it was my imagination, so I just went back to laying down and just being on my phone. That's when I kept hearing the scratching noises. Irritated, I looked again at the door, but nothing. Then I heard it from the closet at the end of my bed, so I turned to look, and that's when I saw it. She was tall, with long arms and really long nails, and she pointed at me, yelling, 'Help me, help me.' I woke up because my mom was calling me, and I told her about my dream, and she told my dad. He said a chant over the phone for me. I told her my dream, and we both just sat in disbelief. That's when I started to feel really uncomfortable, as if someone else was in the room with us. I heard a slight tap, 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 as if someone was taping their nails on a table. Gina was talking to me about something, but I was distracted and kept looking behind her. "What is it?" Gina asked. Nothing, just some people walking by the window," I said, as I nervously laughed. She shrugged her shoulders and kept talking. That's when I looked behind her again, and the roll of napkins flew from the middle of the table to the floor, making a loud noise. Gina jumped up and ran. Stunned, I ran after her, screaming, "You just were going to leave me?" We ran all the way to her dorm room and stayed in there for probably 10 minutes before we had the courage to go back down and collect her belongings. This was one of the things that happened to me while at that school. Many small things would begin to happen that led up to my attachment. I ended up leaving the school for personal reasons. My aunt also went to that school and said some strange things happened to her as well.